All right, once again, welcome to another episode of Unapologetically Black Male, Surviving Society Standards, Stigmas, and Systems. I'm EJ Stewart, one half of the show. Shout out to the co-host and creator, Dwayne Pate. Can't be with us tonight, but we're gonna rock out. This is a show, man, that us as black men like to come on and interview different guys from different backgrounds to basically talk about their trials and tribulations through life, surviving society stigmas, standards, and systems as black men, and basically telling their story and how they got to be where they are and giving them flowers. So today is a special day for me, because I got my big bro. I'm gonna let
Yo,
him introduce himself and just talk about where he's come from, what he's been through, and where he's at now, and doing all the amazing things that he's doing. So take it away,
yo,
good brother.
what's good? What's good? You already know, man. My name is Don. I'm the owner of the Evening Rush Network. I'm also host of the Evening Rush Show, which is on Wednesdays on the network. Um, yeah, I mean, I came through rough, definitely rough childhood. Um, I was born and raised in Brooklyn, Coney Island, to be exact. Um, we went through, raised with my grandmoms. Moms and pops wasn't around. Um, I had uncles that helped raise me, but you know how that goes. You know what I mean? They're here, they're there, they do what they do. But pretty much, growing up in Coney Island was tough, man. It wasn't a cakewalk. You went through the little things children shouldn't go through.
Right.
I want to say that. You saw things you shouldn't have seen. But the most part about it is it was up to you to make it out of there. If you know about Coney Island, Brooklyn, first of all, it's two ways in. You know what I'm saying? And most of us that are born and raised there, we pretty much stay there until you get a certain age. Then you start to venture out. Um, y'all people see the rides. That's the most. You think of Coney Island, you think of the rides, it's beautiful, Astroland Park and all that great stuff. Y'all never went to the other side where the projects is, the murder, the other things that go on in Coney
Hmm.
Island. Y'all see the gentrification now, which is dope. They changed a lot, but it's not recently. They just found the body under the boardwalk,
Mm.
and that was crazy. You know what I mean? So, growing up, it was tough. It was tough. I got picked on. Yeah, it sounds crazy. Big dude like me getting picked on. I got picked on a lot because I was a nerd.
Mm.
Um, it was my high school year, junior high school year, before going to high school. I was a senior. That's when things changed for me, pretty much. I started fighting back, and with that fight back came me running into a lot of negative things. You know, I stopped focusing on school and education, and I pretty much went towards the streets. I still went to school, graduated, went to high school. Um, I dropped out after having my first child, but I went back, got my GED. Um, you know, I'm a father of nine now, which is yeah, it's,
Yes, indeed.
it's real. But I'm cutting off a little bit. I went to I moved to North Carolina for a 2 year stint. Um, once again, negative behavior. Started selling drugs. Um, you know, I left that situation to come back to New York, thinking I could better myself. I just, you wake up in the morning. This is not me. This is not
Mm.
who I am. And I said from that point on, I was going to change. I had a son, and coming back, found out I had a daughter.
Mm.
So that was the crazy part. Um, and that's how the first two started. And then it was just like when you're my age, you start trying at that time. When you was my age, like I was in my 20s. I'm sitting here thinking, what am I gonna do with my life? You know what I'm saying? You get to a turning point where you're scared to go forward, but you don't want to do the things you were doing before. So I got a job, moved to Queens now.
Right.
Uh, got a job doing auto mechanic work, and pretty much that's where I met my ex-wife. We ended up having two kids. So now I'm on four kids.
At that stage.
You know what I mean? I went through a little traumatic experience with her. You know what I'm saying? Not to knock her as a woman, she's a great woman, but she just wasn't the woman for me. You know, um, and I just didn't want to see like my kids go through a lot of shit. So, me personally, I just stepped off.
Right.
I still maintained being a father, but it was just I realized at that point about co-parenting. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that co-parenting until then, and I neglected the other two. One moving to Florida, one moving upstate, and I didn't know how to co-parent, so I pretty much pushed them to the side when they should have been that. We should have had been all together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, After that, it was just like um, I needed a change. I needed a change again. I did a 10 after being in that marriage and relationship for 10 years. We finally got divorced. I joined what was a auto club circuit situation in New York. We call it the circuit. That pretty much changed me. I did it when I joined. I joined to pretty much start off for community service. Try to get
Mm-hmm.
to know, try to get to change, start a change in my life. And I wanted to show my two younger kids better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think doing that, I ended up changing myself a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So after doing that for 7 years, I decided to start my own. I got involved with one of my men from the circuit. He wanted to do a podcast thing. He was like, "It's great, yo. We should try it." I said, "I I'm nervous. Like, I don't like my voice." So I
Yeah,
was like,
it's all
"Bro,
good.
I'm not. I don't want to do. I ain't gonna be on the air with you. I'll
Right.
help you pay for it. We could call me a producer." He was like, "All right, cool, bro. That's what we'll do." So unfortunately, my man, he had a rare kidney disease where
Mm.
he was losing both his kidneys,
Wow.
and he was going through dialysis, and it pretty much um took him out the game.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It was the evening rush, and it was like, okay, I'm like, well, I'm still not getting on this mic. I'm gonna um I'm gonna find another host.
Right.
It was already him, Rainbow, and at the time we had DJ Cocoloso. Um, we added another host. That didn't work out. But I felt so adamant. I loved podcasting. So I took it upon myself to finally say, yo, look, either I let the brand go or um, you know, and then I run into back to where I was, which is not knowing what to do with myself.
Mm.
And then I realized I had so much to offer getting on this mic.
Right.
So I decided, yo, look, I said, Rainbow, it's me and you. Let's go.
Shout out to Rainbow.
Um, yeah, shout out to Rainbow. 2 years. Pardon me, we went through multiple DJs because Coco Loso left too. So it was still just me and Rainbow. And those 2 years, it enlightened me. from guests, going through different guests, and just realizing there's more out here to life.
Mm.
And I was enjoying it. I got to be my own personal counselor.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because now I'm letting all my feelings that was all bottled up in here out through here. Um, Unfortunately, she was in medical school at the time, and that was a lot for her. And me, I just had my now first set of twins. So now I'm on. Here we go. Now I'm on another set of twins, and I have my son, a son. My wife's son at the time. It was just her son and somebody else, and he's not in the picture. So I moved in and stepped in. Now I'm at 7 kids.
Right.
So being with 7 kids now, and she just had the twins, I had to step up, like, to be a father to them. And now I also had all my kids starting to build that bond with all of them, except
Right.
for my older daughter. Things were still shaky because her mom's was in her ear. But you gotta respect it. We never had that close bond because I was a fuck up.
Mm.
We moved on. Fast forward. I decided that me and my man Fresh, we was in the circuit together. He was like, "Yo, bro, you should have stayed with that podcast and shit. Yo, you was doing your thing. Show was amazing. You was meeting people. You know what I mean?" I was like, "Bro, right now that's the father thing from my mind. I'm more focused on being a dad."
Right.
To me, right then at that time, being a dad was everything. You know what I mean? Watching my kids grow. Okay, so fast forward. Unfortunately, Fresh got murdered. That shit took a lot out of me.
Rest in peace.
But what he said made sense to me. If you love podcasting and this means so much to you, why not do it? So, I talked to my wife. Me and her said we'll figure it out, make some adjustments. I called Rainbow. Yo, Rainbow, I want to go back to podcasting. She's like, "All right, Don, what's ready? When you ready, let me know. Let's start." I was like, "Damn, all right, cool." During this time is when COVID was starting, and I was just like, we can't go to a studio. So I'm on the internet searching and ran into StreamYard.
Right.
Said, sounds dope. Let's see how this works. So me and Rainbow, we did a couple of test shows on StreamYard and on Facebook Live with it, and I got better at it.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where now things were starting to open up. I started looking at going to different studios, being on different, trying to do deal with a network thing.
Mm-hmm.
One night, Fresh was in my head, and he was like, "Yo, do this yourself."
Absolutely.
And that right there made me think, yo, I'm hustling backwards, paying these networks when I could start my own network. I got all the equipment. I just started buying the equipment. I had all the equipment. Let me be my own network. You know what I'm saying? The Evening Rush Network. That sounds perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had the trademark, and trademarking is the most important thing when becoming a business that we all don't know. Because if you're not trademarked, somebody can snatch your whole joint right from under you.
Right.
So I got trademarked. Went and got my LLC, got the EIN. Evening Rush LLC is born. So now, okay, I got my show on there. I hit up Twin, who's now better. He was like, "Yo, I want to do a show." I'm like, "All right, boom. Let's do this." You know what I'm saying? I created a show. with Rainbow and two other ladies, Precious and Envy. Shout out to both of
Shout
them.
out to both of them, yeah. Queens NYC.
Now I had the Queens of NYC, the TL Mac Fitness Show, and the Evening Rush. I said, yo, let's do this. A couple of months later, listen, I put out the plate. Listen, anybody want to do their podcast show, hit me up. Plugged hit me up. On everything hit me up. Now I got two more shows. So we expanding. Um, Hit my man Shice up. Shice been doing podcasts for years. Famous. He only deal with the famous people. Bro, was good. Come to the network. All right, bro, let's go. Let's do this. You know what I'm saying? These are people that's been loyal to me from with me. They've been through situations with me from day one, so they trusted me.
Right.
Said, yo, listen, let's do it.
I want
You
to
know what I'm saying?
I want to jump in, right?
Go ahead.
You know, it's a couple things on my mind because you know, typically when we do this show, I don't really know the guests like that. Either Dwayne will know the guests a little more than me, or we both don't know them at all, right?
Yeah.
But so this time I got a little advantage. But going back, you know, growing up in Coney Island in the 80s and 90s, and I want to say just for the New York area from Staten Island to Wyandanch, you know,
Mm,
was a
yeah.
rough time period for a lot of us. And I never knew that you didn't have both your parents around
Nah.
because now you being a father of nine, you know, and you talked about the relationship with the older ones, but you just doing the dedication and the work that I've seen you do with your kids.
Mm,
How were you able to get that mindset to say, I may not know exactly what this is, but this is what I'm gonna do.
great question, bro. Let me tell you something. um, I lost my father before I was born. I was 2 years old. He got murdered. Um, my mom's made a decision where she was she was 15 years old. She just matter of fact, she just turned 16 the day she had after she had me. She couldn't raise me. She couldn't raise me. She knew it. You know what I mean? So she pushed me on to my grandmom's. And the crazy part about all of that was my grandmother raised me. She's a pastor in the church. At that time she wasn't, but she raised me, you know, through church and everything else. And what I learned was I kept saying to myself, I want to be a better father than what I went through. I just kept saying it through life. I want to be a better father than what I went through. With my first son, I knew I loved my son, but I didn't know how to reciprocate that to his mother. So I ignored her a lot. Um, with the second child, that was a situation where, we weren't meant to be. Like we wasn't supposed to be together. And unfortunately we had a child out of it. But each time I tried to be a father, but I was too young. I didn't know. I still was on the mentality of thinking, well, listen, all you gotta do is give some money and you're a father. But when I had my daughter and my son, the last two, I mean the other two, that's where I realized I want to be a man. And in order to be a man, you gotta take care of your kids. And that's what made me step up. And
Yeah.
then being with my wife, and my wife, you know, she she's a different breed altogether. Like she's amazing. She made me realize, yo, listen, to be a father, you gotta be there. And that's what I decided to do from that point on. There's no half times, there's no breaks. I'm a father.
Hmm.
And then my philosophy of family over everything, just that's what it is. When it comes to these kids, phone call, I'm out. I don't care
Yeah.
what's going on. My job will tell you, yo, Yo, something's going on with his kids. He gone.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one thing for me, like, and coming in contact with you when I did, and it's just like you've always preached that, like, before really people were saying, it was before it was really largely popularized to say family over everything. You had this strong family sense, and this is what this show is about. You overcame the stigmas, the system set up for you. You could really be in another position right now, a part of the statistics, and you overcame that. And I want to definitely big you up for
Thank you,
doing
bro.
that, especially with the experiences that you had to experience early on. So, and then going forward, now you left out the part
I left out a
where
couple of things.
you
Yeah,
left out the label attempts, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
He tried to have the Don status label, but
Music group.
yeah. But going back to that though, and where you are now, it is so phenomenal to me because I saw the vision then. I couldn't do as much as I would have loved to do to
We
help,
was
but
young, bro. We were young.
yeah,
Um, I've always had that hustler mentality
I
because
saw it.
I realized I was just wrong. I was putting the hustler mentality in the wrong situation.
Right.
With drugs, it's the wrong situation. I'm gonna tell anybody, yo, listen, if you ain't moving weight, you wasted time, bro. You're a nickel dimer, and you need to do the right thing and take that nickel and dime and put it into something positive. I tell these young kids all the time. I do now talk to young kids more often in the street. Yo, listen, you could be doing better, man.
No,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I mean,
Don't knock these little 9 to 5s, McDonald's. That's a come up.
yeah.
They
I'm
paying $15 an hour now.
I mean, but looking back to, the trials and tribulations and the small things that we were attempting to do, and I look at the Evening Rush Network now, because I also had similar ideas, but you've always been a person to literally put into action what you believe. And I think that's one of the things I've always admired about you most,
Thank you, bro.
because I remember when we had the label,
Yeah,
and just going through that, you know,
that
to
was
see
hard.
you, that was extremely hard at that
That was
time.
hard.
It was almost impossible for us to really come up with that at that time, with the big majors and everything. But
Yeah,
now you have the Evening Rush Network, and that's almost kind of like your label vision paying forward in a different arena, and it's successful.
yeah. I mean, thank God I've been blessed with a great business mindset. We syndicated now. We on iHeartRadio, Pandora. We have our own Zeno FM, which puts us in other countries right now, and like the numbers are great out there. Like it's amazing. I just got the app for Google now. I got the Evening Rush website, so like we're moving a lot, real fast, but we're moving within a year because remember, we will be 1 years old December 15th.
Mm,
The Evening Rush Network. That's our birthday. So in less than a year, we accomplished a lot of things, um, from merchandise to everything. We're just moving. We've been moving. So I thank God first of all. First and foremost, I thank God. Then, like I said, Fresh got it. He's been guiding me through a lot of this.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Whether I haven't, you fall, you make mistakes, you pick yourself up, you do it. But we have an amazing team. You know what I'm saying? My biggest slogan is you start off as a podcaster, but you're a part of a family.
Yeah.
Um, and yo, I have a great family. From each show, from Monday to Saturday, amazing. We try to give y'all the best content. Excuse me, the best content, the best entertainment we can.
Yep.
We don't just talk about sex all day, what you see outside all day. No, we talk about the girls just did a great domestic violence show just now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Um, it's domestic violence month, so they're gonna be talking about it a lot. And you're gonna hear different things. This week I've been doing a lot of entrepreneur shows. Um, I got a podcaster who has his own clothing line.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna be on my show this week. So you know what I'm saying? It's you wanna try to switch it up and have people come on to make to keep new product coming every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My end goal is to where I can have every show on the network every day, just different times.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be like a real radio station. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Let's get it.
It's definitely moving in that direction, man. And I'm just proud of you, bro. I mean,
Thank you, man.
just
Listen, you remember you used to be the lawyer, man. You was the lawyer, man. Like, yo,
yeah.
it's like, yo, let's call EJ, let's get that paperwork right, and you know what I mean? Let's move. And
Mm,
like I said, you copyrighted Dawn Status on Music Group.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Before I switched over to Dawn Status Promotion.
Mm-hmm.
And but these, like I said, these things were stepping stones to get where I'm at now.
Yeah.
And I appreciate everybody that helped me along the way, because just like you say, I helped you, you helped me, bro. You gave me a lot of encouragement saying, yo, you could do this. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It's not, I don't think of these, I think of these things, but it's with people's help that I've succeeded.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Even if it's word of mouth or it's, yo, you got this, bro. Don't give up.
No,
That's all a person needs.
I really believe, I really truly believe that the direction you're going in is the wave of the future. One, but two, it's just getting better and better. In the year you could see the progression, and just going back to the label days, you could just see the effort paying off, and you truly blessed in that regard, man. But it was
We
something
should have
you
listened to
said.
you, bro. We should have listened to you, and it would
What
have
about
popped
the
off.
label?
Yeah, we should have went to with the R&B,
R&B,
and it would have
yeah.
popped off, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I told you that the rap circuit at that time was way too full, and being a small independent, going up against bigger independents with majors wasn't gonna work.
Yeah,
But the R&B was, I think it was the key at that time. But it probably, who knows where things would have been at that point, going
yeah,
forward. So
yeah.
who knows? But you said something that really stood out to me that I think resonates with a lot of people who podcast and do different things. You made mention to the therapy that it brought to you.
Mm.
Talk more about that, because you are a guy. Even back then, we were like, "Yo, Shone, get on the hook." And he's like, "Nah, nah, nah, I'm not. I'm just here to pay for the time. I'm just here to pay for the time." You've never been somebody who wanted to get in front of the camera or the mic, and you talked about it being therapeutic. Talk more about that for me.
Like I said, it's therapeutic as far as I'm able to talk now more about, once this camera go on, I could be dead tired. I'd be like, yo, I'm out of it. I'm done. That camera go on, yo, what's good, man? What up? What up? Energy's there because I already know I'm on this job and I have a lot of work to do, but I also know that I get to let out a lot of the pain that was here.
Mm-hmm.
I get to talk about my mother's situation. I got to talk about my father's situation. My baby mother is lovely to death. I got to talk about you. You know what I'm saying? Going from, paying child support for 4 kids and I'm still here. Like, hey, I'm guys, do you not see me taking them to school? Do you not see me like, but you know what? I did what I had to do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I talked about the mental abuse I went through, the physical abuse I went through. You know, the way I had to live when I was on child support, and now I'm not in a relationship, and unfortunately, I had to do things I didn't want to do so I could survive.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to let that out. Those were the things that was holding in here that was holding me back from wanting to do anything. You know what I'm saying? People don't know their pain until they're able to express their pain.
Right.
And it took a therapist to tell me that. And she was like, but remember one thing, you can't control everybody else. The one person you can control is you.
Right.
And in order for me to move forward in anything I did, she's like, you got to let it out. So this was my way of letting it out. I talk about myself. I talk about what I see and what I enjoy, and I'm happy. You
And
know
it
what I mean?
helps, and it can help other people.
Oh
You
yeah,
know.
I
Yeah.
recommend. Yo, listen, I recommend if you. The one thing I always used to do was write. You know, she told me write in a book, express how you feel. As an artist, I realize rappers, everybody, they write how they feel, and then they let it out their way,
Hmm.
whether it's singing, poems, different types of art. That's how they laugh. This is an art. Whether people look at it as it or not, it's art. It's entertainment, but it's art.
Yeah.
But this is my way of letting out my art. This is my pain, my anger. Whatever it is, it comes out through this. And it doesn't have to be negative. It could be positive. I shoot a lot of positivity when I can. And my biggest thing, like you always say, is give people their roses while they're here. I'd rather do that now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I buried my man. I gave him roses, but not enough.
Hmm.
And I had to bury him before I could really give him his roses. My man was a phenomenal, he was a rapper on the come up. He was a man that wanted to take care of his family. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate what he put in me to do this
Hmm.
because it helped me get out my feelings.
Yeah, and not only that, the content that you guys put out, it can help. It helps a lot of people. You get different perspectives. I'm just I'm one of the shows and the network's biggest fans, and just to know where you came from and where you are now, I
Yeah,
can't be more proud. And you're right, the family aspect, just watching the different shows and the chemistry, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Tell us, tell us, quickly where we could find you guys, the shows that you remember. You mentioned the Google app, and I saw that. I'm gonna have to
yeah.
get
We
that.
just dropped that. We just dropped that yesterday. That right there. I mean, that's why I'm like this right now. I'm been
Mm.
excited. I've been hitting a little bit too much of the bottle now as well. You see me on the water now. Yo, I mean, I'm keeping it real, bro. I, you know what it is? I kept saying to myself, I didn't think I was gonna make it this far. You
Yeah,
know what
you
I'm
always
saying?
said that. We
Apple,
always said that.
Apple, Apple is next. Don't get it twisted. Apple is coming. I'm just having a little problem with Apple, but I'm working on that.
Yeah, they always difficult. Apple,
Yeah.
Apple, stop being so difficult.
Listen, we gonna make it happen. Don't worry. You know what I
Indeed,
mean? Because I need to be on your iPhones and stuff. You know.
exactly.
Um, but first, let me go through the shows real quick, bro. Monday night got the Queens of NYC. Tuesday, you got Get Into the Focus. You also got Barbershop and Mike's. Wednesday, you got my show, which is the Evening Rush. You got I Am Nicole Clear right after that. Thursday, you got the TL Mac Fitness Show. After that, you got Plugged. Then the weekend gets a little spicy. I
Mm,
gotta say that the weekend get a little spicy. You got On Everything on Friday. You got Sex, Love, and Alcohol, and you got Let's Get Crazy.
yeah,
So on Saturday. So that's all the shows. Um, you can catch us on the eveningrushnetwork.com. You can catch us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Google. We now got our own app, which I always recommend everybody to go to. You can catch us on Anchor. You can catch us on YouTube. Please support that YouTube. You know what I'm saying? It's a simple subscribe, tune in, share. You know what I mean? Hit that notification button so you get the notifications when we're on. Everything is the Evening Rush Network, DA Evening Rush and Network. spelt just
Yeah.
like that. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Um, I'm still trying to get you on there, bro. You know what I mean? I'm working. You gotta come. Let go. This fam. Like I said, we start off as a podcast, but at the end of the day, we gonna end family, even though we already family.
I already
You know what I'm
know.
saying? You are my brother for life, man. There's nothing you can't. Yo, hit me up, bro. I need you. I'm not gonna do. You know what I'm saying? If I can't do it, I'm gonna make it happen somehow. I'm gonna figure it out. You
I
know what I
already
mean?
know.
But listen, man, when I say this, and I truly mean this, people do not give up on your dreams. Do not stop for nothing. Do not let anybody tell you you can't do something. And if somebody tells you, yo, bro, this is for you, accept it. This is for you. This is your blessing. And that's the problem with us. A lot of us walk away from our blessings. Don't do that. Definitely don't do that. And this is what it is, man. And all my fathers, step up, man. It ain't hard, man. Be there for your kids, man. It ain't
Man,
hard, man.
that's
It's
a whole nother way right there. But you kind of capped it off for me, giving us a parting word. You know what I mean? And I just want to again, man, this show. Shout out to Dwayne Pate. He started this, as a part of Mental Health Month, but we've kept it going. He had the vision to keep it going as black men. Saying, hey, we gonna let these brothers know that they're dope for surviving. You're a survivor.
yeah,
And, we wanted to definitely get you on here to highlight your survival and your success.
appreciate it,
So
bro.
thank you, man.
Definitely
Once
appreciate it.
again, this was the Unapologetically Black Male Surviving Society's Stigma, Standards, and Systems. I'm EJ Stewart. Shout out to the co-host and founder, Dwayne Pate. And shout out to my brother, Shone, the Dawn Brown of
Yo, thank
Evening
you, man.
Rush Network. And follow us on social media, YouTube,